We know NoCo. From Town Square Media, this is Tuned Into NoCo. I'm Ashlee Meehleis. Hi, everybody. Good morning and welcome into Tuned Into NoCo. Today, we have Jenni Dobson with us. She is Loveland Museum's Curator of Education. Jenni, thanks for joining us today. This is great.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So let's talk about the Loveland Museum. How did it all start? What do you guys do?
So Loveland Museum has been there since the 60s. Don't quote me on that. But we started as a history museum. There was a collector named Harold Dunning in town, and he really collected things from northern Colorado, but also from all over the world. He just loved to collect. The city of Loveland took over his collection, I think, in the 60s. And so we've been running the Loveland Museum since and added art in the 90s. Wow. So we're an art museum and a history museum.
That's amazing. And speaking of art, February 11th, you guys are hosting the Thompson School District Student Art Show. Tell us about this event.
We are. So the School District Art Show for Thompson School District, we've held probably on and off for about 20 plus years. It's gone through many renditions where we used to hold it every year. We just don't have the space to do that now. So now we try to host it at least every other year instead of every year. This year it'll be February 11th through April 16th with the Night on the Town opening, which is Loveland's kind of second Friday event. Cool. And that will be February 10th from 4 to 7.
Awesome. And what type of art does this event showcase?
So we have artwork from kindergartners all the way through 12th graders. We really work with all of the art teachers with the school district, and they're the ones who actually kind of curate it. I just kind of co-curate it with them. They put together, they select the artists, select the students, and we have about 3 to 6 pieces coming from every single school in the Thompson School District. So including all the elementaries, all the high schools, all the middle schools, and then also our 2 charter schools in Loveland. So New Vision Charter School and Loveland Classical.
Wow. And you said it's coming from the district. So the teachers just choose the art and the students just apply. Can you still apply as a student?
Yeah, they don't really apply.
Yeah, okay.
All of the teachers get to select each year which students will be showcased in there. Our teachers have gotten super creative where they'll put 3 or 4 pieces in a frame or even more than that, just so that they can cover more students, just because we are limited in the number we can take from each school, because there's 30 plus schools in the district, so we have to kind of limit it. So this year we have about 300 students represented.
Wow.
With how creative the teachers got on how they were going to frame them.
That's amazing. And this is a 10-week art exhibit.
It is. It's 10 weeks. It'll be up through April 16th. It is not in our main gallery, which is what we charge for. So it'll be totally free. It's going to be in 3 of our other auxiliary galleries. So our downstairs gallery, which is called our Foot Gallery, and there are 2 other galleries upstairs called the Dunning Gallery and the Green Room Gallery. So it'll be kind of spread out throughout the museum.
Well, it sounds great. And then on February 10th, the day before this kicks off, you guys are doing a public open reception from 4 to 7 p.m. What is this?
Right. So we always have a reception just for the parents and the kids to be able to come kind of have fun, just beverages and snacks and those types of things. And we also, City of Loveland, or I guess actually not just City of Loveland, all of Loveland is also having their Sweetheart celebration that weekend as well. So it's kind of part of all of the things that'll be going on for Sweetheart celebration that weekend that start the 10th and I think go through the 11th or 12th downtown Loveland. So this show, it'll just kind of be that opening, like I said, that night for the students and the teachers, but anybody's welcome to come that evening. We'll have cookies and punch and juice and that type of stuff. So.
Perfect. That's awesome. And admission is free for all of these events.
Yeah,
correct?
for everything. Everything's free. Yep.
Okay. Well, you guys heard that. The Loveland Museum is partnering with Thompson School District to put on a student art show. This is happening February 11th through April 16th, so it's 10 weeks long. It's going to happen at the Loveland Museum. They're also going to have an open reception from 4 to 7 p.m. on February 10th. Admission is free. If you would like more information, you can head to thelovelandmuseum.org. Now, the Loveland Museum hosts a lot of other family events too, right? Do you guys have anything else coming up that you'd like our listeners to know about?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have our Beat Education Center, which is our education annex next door to the museum. And we host all sorts of classes from taught all the way through adult. We just started printmaking workshops in there with a new printing press. So that has been going really well for the last couple years.
And that's like a 3D printer?
No, this one's actually a hand-printed press, and so it's a floor model to Koch. So what that means is that for printmaking, a lot of printmakers, will carve into some sort of material, whether it's a linoleum, a wood block, etching, something else, and then they put it on the press to actually come out with those prints, and it's a hand-cranked press.
Oh, wow.
So we just started those. We got a great grant this year to help us kind of get that space going. And then our art classes are pretty much any media that you could think of and any age that you could think of. So we also partner with the City of Loveland for Colorado Children's Day, which will be coming up, which we've talked about with you guys before. Colorado Children's Day will be held at the Chilson, but it's all of the city departments kind of putting on that event. And that will be on March 3rd, so Thursday, at the Chilson Center.
Oh, awesome. Well, that's exciting.
I think from 1 to 3 that afternoon.
So a lot of great things coming up here. Do you have a favorite event that you guys host?
My probably favorite event, which has kind of been our longest ongoing event at the museum, is the Cherry Pie Celebration.
Yeah.
We will have that again this summer. July 15th, I believe, is the date. That is just kind of the celebration in Loveland for all the cherry orchards that used to be there for years and years. In the 60s, the cherry orchards actually kind of died out. We had an early freeze in October.
I heard about this.
Yeah, and so a lot of the cherry orchards died out, but they were there for years. It was one of the biggest cash crops in Loveland for a long time. But we still like to celebrate that history. So
yeah, no, that's awesome. Kind of going back to the art show you guys are having. You hosted this event in the past. You said, how did it go?
It's gone great. It's such a great way to celebrate youth artistry. We do it again, like during the month, mostly the month of March. So it starts in February, goes through April. March is considered National Youth Art Month.
Really?
So that's why we've kind of chosen this time of year to hold this show. It's just a great way for students to see their artwork on the walls and in a museum, but also to get families into the museum and just kind of see what we've got going on with history and art.
Yeah, absolutely. With doing this in the past, you guys have any stories of how this has inspired youth to continue to paint or pursue different artistic ventures?
Probably a couple of the high school students that I could think of who have gotten chosen for this show by the high school art teachers, especially at Mountain View and Loveland High School. I've seen some of those students go on to either study graphic arts or study visual arts, and now they're, posting their own things on Instagram and social media as they continue kind of their ideas in art. There's a couple of them that I've worked with recently that, one's a photographer now. Wow. She actually did my daughter's senior pictures this year, but she kind of started out as, doing art in the school district and being in the show.
That's amazing.
And another one that I know that is really just active on social media, trying to get her art there out there as well.
That's so cool. You guys heard that. It's a great way to support the upcoming artists in our community. So Loveland Museum is hosting the Thompson School District Student Art Show. They're going to have, you said, over 300 pieces
300, well, not pieces of art, just 300 students that are represented, And we'll have some actually video media too. Loveland High School and Mountain View High School will have some of their, what would they be? They just do video art, so they do their own little short movies, filmmaking, commercials, PSAs, those types of things. I'm just kind of experimenting with that.
Yeah, way cool. So you guys, a little bit of everything.
Yep.
This will be going 10 weeks, starting February 11th through April 16th at the Loveland Museum. Admission is free. If you'd like more information, you can head to thelovelandmuseum.org. Now let's kind of talk about you, Jenni. How did you get involved with the Loveland Museum?
Actually, I had an intern ask me this the other day because she was really interested in getting in museum studies. And I have kind of an interesting story. I started out with sports.
Really?
As a sports writer. Yeah. In high school, I thought I was going to be a sports writer. Went to CSU and studied journalism and public relations. Wow. Worked for the for CSU athletics for a little while as an intern for several years. Went to UNC, still thinking I was going to do athletic administration.
Yeah.
Kind of fell into this position with the museum as youth activities coordinator several years ago because all of my working experience growing up had been in Parks and Rec, and so different Parks and Rec, teaching classes, working front desk, all those types of things. And just kind of fell into this position and was youth activities coordinator for about 10 years in curative education for the last 10 years. So been at the museum for 20 plus years. I love it. It's a great position. We have a great little museum. I mean, we hear that all the time. They just can't believe that there's this great museum in a small town like Loveland that has so many different things. I've learned so much about art and history. Again, wasn't my background, but it's been fun to learn about it.
Well, that's amazing. Well, we're glad you're doing what you're doing.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. And I will have to come check out the Loveland Museum. What is the address?
We are at 503 North Lincoln. So Lincoln is the one-way going north in downtown Loveland. So we're right on that corner of 5th and Lincoln. Can't miss us. We have that big red sculpture out front.
Awesome.
That's about 20 feet tall, 30 feet tall. So
way cool. You guys heard that. Definitely head to the Loveland Museum. They have a lot going on. Now, you mentioned along with this event, you have like that printing thing coming up. When does that start?
So we just really got started this last weekend, or Saturday, with our printmaking workshops. Those are all on our website. We just hired a new instructor to teach all of those. So we have a series of printmaking workshops coming up. Our art classes are going all the time. Like I said, toddlers, we have taught art. We have kid and adult arts together. So we've got, multi-generational classes. We have adult arts that are starting just learning a new medium all the way up to kind of progressive oils and progressive acrylics and progressive watercolors. Yeah, there's been a lot going on there. And then our exhibits all the time. We've got 4, 5, 6 different exhibit galleries that are switching all the time.
Yeah.
So new exhibits coming in all the time. The John Mellencamp exhibit has been crazy busy. I've never seen a Saturday and a Sunday so busy than the last couple weekends. So a lot of people are getting in to see that exhibit. It closes here shortly.
Yeah.
I think it is still open for that weekend this I think it's the last weekend that'll be open. Yeah. And then the Governor's Art Show comes in after that, which is always a popular show. It's regional artists.
Oh, cool. Now, do you have to RSVP for the shows or the events that you guys have?
No, we do. So our main gallery, like where the Mellencamp exhibit is, where the Governor's Art Show will be, I can't remember what's coming in this summer. I think we have a guitar exhibit coming in this summer.
Oh, cool.
That gallery we do charge for. That's our main gallery. So that's $7 per person. Don't have to have reservations. You just walk in. Everything else, history, all of our other smaller galleries, like I mentioned with the school district art show, are free. Classes and those types of things you do have to reserve. So all of that registration is on our website. And then we've, if you just come into the museum, we've got information on registration for all of those classes and programs too. Most of our special events are free. We do have memberships through the museum. So if you buy an annual membership, you can get all of those exhibits for free. We have member openings. We do member previews where the members get to come, kind of see a sneak peek of something ahead of time, especially if it's not opening to the public till the next day or, 2 days later. And those memberships are all online as well. But
that's great.
Some
well,
more
you guys
perks
have
with those.
So much going on. That's awesome.
We do. And we've got this museum store. Like we went from this very small gift shop all of a sudden to the museum store.
Really?
And so we have just tons of gifts right now too, like all that are all Valentine's themed right now.
Oh, perfect.
For stuff going on in Loveland. But
I'm sure it takes a lot of manpower to put all of this stuff together. Do you guys need volunteers or do you accept donations?
We always need volunteers. We're part of the city, so we're supported by the city, but donations are always welcome too, just to help support other programs that we can't, fund through city funds. And then it's crazy. We have such a small staff at the museum. And we're huge ideas people, so we are always trying to probably do more than we should. But we have a great time doing it. But we have tons of great community partners and lots of volunteers, too. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, volunteers are always a big thing. We also hold our second grade history days, which is also with the Thompson School District. It's a curriculum field trip.
Okay.
With the second graders, they all study history in second grade and going into third grade. And so we do a huge field trip for them in May, and that one's always a huge one that we need like 100 volunteers to run.
Oh, great. Well, where can somebody sign up if they'd like to volunteer?
Also on our website. If you go on our website, there's several tabs at the top that lead you to the exhibits, lead you to the programs, lead you to the special events. And then there's also kind of a Get Involved tab. And a donations tab up there where you can, just put in information to either volunteer or donate.
Perfect.
Or, we also have a scholarship program for people to be able to take our classes too.
Oh, great. Well, those listening, you guys heard that. You can head to the lovelandmuseum.org website to sign up to volunteer. They also have a lot of really cool events happening this year. There's a lot of family events and a lot of activities for all ages. Coming up here, they are hosting with the Thompson School District a student art show. It's happening February 11th through the 16th. It's going to be at the Loveland Museum. This will be be on for 10 weeks. Admission is free, so definitely check it out. They are going to kick it off February 10th with a public open reception from 4 to 7 p.m. For more info, you can head to the lovelandmuseum.org. Well, Jenni, thank you so much. This was great.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to What Matters in NoCo. I'm Ashlee Meehleis with Town Square Media's Tuned Into NoCo. If you missed part of the show, you can find it on your Town Square Media station app or website. If you or your organization would like to be considered for Tuned Into NoCo, send me an email at ashlee.meehleis@townsquaremedia.com. That's ASHLEE.MEEHLEIS@townsquaremedia.com.